Right, good morning everybody. Big week this week. I just want to go through the fundamentals firstly, just so we all know what's kind of happening. So I'm not in a rush to take anything major or particularly big before the election is complete. So obviously we have big day tomorrow. The dollar's just going to be, I think, relatively hesitant or particularly volatile beforehand. So once we know the decision of the election, then we should hopefully calm down slightly. But until then, we don't know how the markets are going to behave and how the market's going to react. So hopefully we get some clear direction on Tuesday. I would expect a bullish dollar if Trump wins, which is looking the most likely, and a bearish dollar if Kamala wins. So let's just see how that plays out first. We'll get the analysis done. We'll set up for this week. We'll have a look at our higher time frame plays because typically, these things are priced in, just like we always say with any major news event, that usually it's already priced into the markets anyway. So let's just see what we've got on show and then we can go from there really. All right, so I'm going to start with the dollar. Let's just have a quick look. So just kind of a quick reflection on Friday's move. So we marked out these liquidity points. We had a clear reversal from there. It gave us on Euro USD, as you can see now here, a clear buy. I didn't actually get into that trade. I'm not sure why. But I didn't actually get into that trade, but obviously we caught some of the news move on the way back down. I'll do a full end of week market for you guys today, so I'll get that recorded and sent out to you. Apologies, I should have done that on the weekend. And yeah, ultimately here's where we are. So we're now in a position where we created new ranges. I can delete all of this, okay? I can delete all of this. Just get rid of that now, and let's start from our top down. So we've got a monthly close. So previous month, I'm going to start putting this in our little tool up here because I think it's worth acknowledging. Okay, so previous month is very much bullish. Okay, so the expectation is that we're going to get a bullish next month. Okay, that's typically how these things go. Everything is fractal, remember. Okay, let's completely clear our charts as with the start of a new month. Let's mark on our monthly highs and our monthly lows, and let's start right from the beginning. So we've got a where is it? Monthly there. Okay, cool. And then we've got a monthly down here as well. Okay, so we'll mark those on. Previous week. Okay, so previous week, potentially now we have a reversal. So previous week, we swept that. And then depending on how this week closes, if we close bearish, then obviously we could have a bearish dollar. But with the election, that could change quite quickly. So this is just a hesitation candle at the moment. So I'm just going to mark that on as a buy side sweep. Buy side sweep, no direction, okay? Because the weekly candle, we can't really trust where that is. Previous week, however, was, I'll just put it down there so you can see easier, ND. Previous week, however, was quite bullish. So this could just be a pullback to take out the weekly low, which we've already done, as you can see here. So last week's low has already been swept. So we mark that on, dead weekly, and then we can just wait and see what happens from here. Okay, so we can wait and see what happens from here. That's done. Okay, cool. So let's have a look at the daily. So the daily, obviously a massive bearish move. Now, a lot of this is a gap at the moment. If you've had a look at the lower time frame, we've got a big old gap. We've then come and swept the weekly liquidity. It makes sense. It makes sense for us to have a buy from here. If you look at overall structure, bearish structure right now, bearish structure, we've had an initial first break and then we've had a sweep. So this could be a larger complex reversal pattern. So if we say that that is our first break, FBOS, okay, and then now we've had a sweep. So let's class this as our trap, okay, which is taking out the weekly low, mark that on as our trap. And then are we now setting up to go long? I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. All of this gap I would quite like to be filled in as well. So, potentially we could be getting a long setup from here, especially as we've now taken that weekly low. So let's see how that develops. Let's see if we can get a trade out of here. Just come back to our daily. Obviously, we've got daily liquidity up here. Let's mark that one on. And below us, we've got daily liquidity down here. 4 hour ranges right now. So if we just have a look, and this is always worth doing. So let's have a look where our liquidity is currently sat. I'll go back and update that in a minute. So this is our 4-hour liquidity. It gets a little bit messy down here. I'm going to ignore that wick. Okay, cool. And then that was down there. So we've actually taken out the liquidity from here. That's been taken. And then we've taken out the liquidity from here. That's been taken. So I put that down there. Okay, so you know we're looking pretty hungry from a buy side liquidity point of view right now. We've taken out quite a lot of liquidity here and here, and you know we have got a little bit of 4 hours. So let's have a look what we got down there. 2 seconds. Okay, yeah, so we've got an order block here. There's no rest in liquidity. Oh, we've tagged into that order block as well. Yeah, so I mean, this looks like a pretty clear and obvious high time frame bullish setup now. We've taken out rest in liquidity. Overall, we're relatively bullish. Did we shift bearish? So that was our bullish range. That was then technically our new bullish range, bearish range. Yeah, we did shift bearish, but it looks like we've reversed again. So look, I need a bit of 15-minute structure ideally to get me into this trade. If I can get something out of here, so if I can get a sweep of that, then I quite like the look of that for a long potentially, or if we do need to wait for some new structure to come in and we can trade off the back of this, okay, and then take it up like that, that will be also something that I'd be relatively happy with. So let's just see. It all looked pretty long to me, if I'm honest. It all looks pretty long. 5 minute. We've got a 5 minute liquidity here as well, so let's mark that one on just in case we take that one out. I'll put our alert on there, and then let's see how Euro USD. Now obviously this is just structure right now on the DXY. We need the Euro USD to line up with this as well. Okay, so let's do the same for Euro USD. I'm just going to hide some of this because I've got a little bit of I want to record some content for some of these trades. Other than that though, zoom out. Excuse me. Zoom out right here. Let's get rid of all of this. Okay, cool. Right, let's start at the beginning. So our previous month. So month. Okay, was bearish. Okay, clear bearish candle. And you know, a really nice reversal shape as well, right? Okay, so bullish candle, bullish sweep. So bullish candle, buy side sweep, bearish reversal, big old engulfing. This just looks so bearish to me. It looks like we're going to fill in some of this gap up here and then shoot off bearish. Okay, so let's just keep an eye on that. Let's mark on our monthly high and monthly low. Pop that here. So we've got monthly level there, and we've got monthly level here. And then let's mark on this one as well. Let's mark on near side, because these could of course be targets. And the same for on the DXY here and here. These of course could be targets, right? Okay, where we could be headed next effectively. Having a look at our weekly. So weekly we've got an inside bar and it's bullish. So it's an inside bull. Okay, not the best of candle patterns. We did take out that weekly level there. Let's mark that one on. Let's tidy these up. Okay, so that is our liquidity taken. Our weekly, dead weekly. Let's mark that one on. And then of course we've had this big old gap, right? So big old gap. Previous candle daily was bullish. Okay. Yeah, so previous daily candle was bullish. And let's just again tidy up some of this a little bit. So we've got a daily high there, we've got a daily low here, next daily low is there, next daily high is up here. Okay, cool. So we've got some clear targets that we can start paying attention to. In terms of structure, bullish structure, we've had a it's not very clear on the 4 hour. Sometimes it will get this and you've got to just like jump down a time frame. So market is overall quite bullish, as you can see. This market is more bullish than this market is bearish, which is quite interesting. And this kind of confusion will often happen when we've got big news events like elections coming in. Something's clearly happened. I'll research today, but something's clearly happened over the weekend which has caused this gap. It'll be something to do with the election. And because of that, I'll put a structure. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't got a clear setup or entry on this right now. I do favour the short for the obvious reasons. I'd quite like to see that daily level taken, if I'm honest. That would be quite nice for me. 8 o'clock liquidity's come in. We have taken that liquidity down here. So potentially we've got a trade setting up now. Liquidity would be down there, yeah. So potentially we've got a trade set up here. If we can get MSU off this liquidity sweep and then maybe something like that. Well, technically we've had the MSU already, haven't we? I just don't like the fact it hasn't taken any like good liquidity. We've had an expansive move. I would have loved it to have taken the weekly, but it's taken the weekly on the DXY, which shows them we've got divergence. So I do actually quite like the look of this now. This is the sort of, you know, conversation you've got to have with yourself to ensure that you're taking the right sort of trades. And we've got real good potential off this trade. If we do a nice tight stop down here, see if I can get to 2R. Okay, so I can't get to 2R for my first liquidity target. So let's just do this and then 2R will be there. Okay, cool. I'm going to take that trade, guys. I'm going to take this short.
Best you could ever imagine. And I...
Okay, cool. Right, so Euro USD chart. If we've got 6 pip stop. Euro USD 6. Right, I'm in that trade. Let's see how that plays out. What we want? 9039, 9039, 9039. Okay, cool. Right. See how this plays out. I do favour the short. I might even try and get somewhere down here. My first profit target will be, I think, around here. So that will be my first profit target. If we can get that TP out. And then anywhere in here will be the next one. Let's see what we get today. GU, yeah, divergence on GU as well. So we've got GU clearly sweeping. We've got DXY clearly sweeping. Yeah, I do like the look of this, to be fair now. And EU has failed to make the sweep, okay? Preferred usually to take this option, but after last week, I am just primarily trading EU now, just because of the synchronicity between the DXY. I just prefer EU. I'm going to just use my GU as my confluence pair. It's not going to be a pair that I trade any longer. Famous last words as always. Let's see how this trade plays out, guys. All right, team. Didn't see you all there.
Morning.
What's going on?
Just waiting until you finish recording now.
Oh, love that. So considerate. So considerate. Right, let's get the analysis in. That's that bit done. Let's post this trade. Short. Oh, no, don't want that. No, I don't want that at all. Get rid of that. Finally in the new studio. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finally in. That's so nice. I've got so much space to move about in. I love it. I love it. Right, let's see how this plays out then. Nice to get a nice little push for this morning. All the elements are there that we need. We've even had a 5-minute engulfing now as well, which is good. Quite high. We've not taken. Got structure, liquidity sweep. Structure, liquidity sweep. Guaranteed you is going to play out the best. It always does. Always the opposite you take, isn't it? I've just realised my microphone's like miles away from me. Am I really quiet, guys? Is that better? Oi, how's everyone's weekends? Good? It's a quiet bunch today.
Not too bad.
Yeah, good. What did we get up to?
I had a family wedding, I did.
Oh, did ya?
Manchester.
Working all weekend then?
Yeah.
Oh, was it family? Oh, sorry, family wedding.
Yeah, family wedding, yeah, so I wasn't working on this one now, so...
Do you find like do you find like in your head you're still working though because you're like watching all the photographers make mistakes that you know you could do better?
Yeah, I do watch them, weirdly, but I was trying not to. But,
You go over and be like, you know, mate, if you turn your ISO down to 380, you'll get a much better shot in this room.
something like that. But no, I was trying not to be fair. But yeah, it was alright, yeah. Just, and then just the boys playing football on the weekend, and
Nice.
that's my weekend. Yeah.
Nice, love it.
Sounds good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, what did I do this weekend? Yeah, I was just here, there, and everywhere. I've been building this desk for my office for a while. I mean, it sounds like a simple job, but we bought these like oak worktops, so it's been a lot of like finishing, fixing, sanding, varnishing, all that sort of stuff to just make sure it's really, really nice, and it has come out lovely. So put the office back together yesterday, and I've got twice the desk space now, which is great. So it means that I can hopefully get a second monitor in and just have a little bit more space. I've got like a relatively good sized monitor. Wait there, I'll send a message in the group so you can see. Wait there. Where are we? There we are. No, I just popped it in the group then. You see?
It looks good there, Joe.
It's nice, right?
Yeah.
So the desk before was like half the size, and it just had I just like felt really cramped. Obviously we've got enough space in this room, so so it's nice. It just feels nice, little upgrades like this, doesn't it? It's nice, and I also like I'm quite handsy with this sort of stuff anyway. Like I wouldn't spend 400-500 quid on a desk that I could make myself. Like, and we probably spent about I built one for me and one for my girlfriend. So we probably spent about 200 quid on each desk. But you pay like 400-500 quid new. But I like the fact that I made it. Do you know what I mean? I bought a piece of wood. I fixed some legs to it. I sanded it. I varnished it. I put an edge on it, and it feels like it's mine. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit old-fashioned like that, anyway. And I'm like, and despite despite trading and obviously the financial freedom it gives you, I am still a bit of a skinflint. I like saving money. and I'll do something big with it. We want to build a house. That's our big goal. Is we want to build a house. We want to save up a big chunk of cash, buy a big plot of land somewhere, and build a house. That'd be the dream. Say again?
Someone said, why not?
Yeah,
I agree.
Definitely. Should we have a look at Germany 40 whilst EU is just pissing about? Not moving very well, is it? I feel like we might have this a bit for these next couple of days, just slow markets. Is anyone trading yen pairs, by the way? No? Nobody? Nobody trading yen today? Because it's a Japanese bank holiday today, just to be prepared for or be warned of.
Can you remember what happened to the charts last election? Check. US election. Because I don't even think I was trading then. It just started.
I don't remember.
Interesting.
We're talking
times.
what, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was still battling with trying to get and keep funding accounts 4 years ago. Do you know what? I think about this quite a lot. It's amazing how quickly things turn around. How like one day trading just clicks, and you just get to a point where you're just like, right, this all now makes sense. And I read this really interesting article a little while ago about how your brain is effectively a filing cabinet. And what happens is, as over time, as you learn information, you're basically just like writing down. If you imagine this, right? Every piece of information you learn, you scribble it down on a piece of notepad paper really, really quickly. Okay, you scribble it down really, really quickly. So your handwriting's messy. It's not got maybe any structure to it. It's just it's scribbly. It's down on a bit of like note paper. Okay, and then every time you learn that information, you just throw it in the filing cabinet in no particular order. It just goes in there. And what your brain effectively does over time is it processes this information. So it types it up. This is the way to imagine it. It types it up into a Word document. It organizes it all. It structures it all. And most importantly, it organizes each piece of paper in documented files. But this process takes time. And a great analogy I heard about it is, do you remember the old Windows 95 computers? Do you remember they had to be defragmented? Does anyone remember that?
Oh, I remember
Yeah?
that.
So you had to defrag your computer, and it used to make your computer faster, didn't it? And that was because it was effectively sorting all of that information into the right places. Your brain effectively does that. So I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it. You might sometimes wake up like the next day after, I don't know, or you have like revelations in the night, or you wake up in the middle of the night, or you wake up the next day and something suddenly makes sense to you. That's why how important your sleep is. The reason why I usually in bed by 9 o'clock these days, and B, it's your brain organising information. And I found I've had a few moments like that with trading where I felt like I didn't understand concepts, and all of a sudden they just made sense to me. And it usually, I'll be honest, it usually happens after I take time off, which is why I'm trying to be a little bit better with that these days. I'm really bad for being at the charts all the time. A couple of reasons really. A, I am addicted to trading, and I'll fully admit that. I have to acknowledge my addictions these days, and I'm fully addicted to trading. But B, also because of you guys and the community and stuff, and I feel an obligation to be here all the time. So I try and have specific times off where I haven't got my phone on me, and I had a little bit of a break for Anna's birthday the other day, and we just had some time off, and it was quite nice, to be fair. I checked in with you guys in the morning, and the rest of the day I just wasn't really trading. I think that's really important as well, is to find that balance, and it's definitely a positive thing for a trader, because it allows your brain to organize that information, and you always come back after those moments a better trader. Like 100% you come back better. But yeah, it's interesting. I love all that like biology and how the brain works and stuff. It's so interesting, isn't it? Right, this needs to move. Yeah, I knew this would happen. GU moving better. DXY not really moving either. You don't even have to go that far. How far have we got here? 14 pips. It's not even that far. Is anyone in any trades at the moment? Did anyone take anything this morning?
Nah, I haven't. I'm away, so
Oh, are you?
I'm just not trading for 2 days. Yeah.
What are you up to?
I'm just in the Yorkshire Dales.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, you did say. Yeah. How is it? Cold?
It's lovely.
Is it cold?
Damp and wet, I'd say.
Cold and
A bit
wet, yeah.
chilly.
What are you doing, like walking and stuff, or is it just literally like a cabin in the woods?
No, doing some hikes and exploring.
Nice. Love that, man. Love that.
Going to like Malham Cove and stuff today and hiking up and around it.
Nice. You just there on your own, or you go with anyone?
No, I'm like with my family.
Nice, man.
Parents bring the dogs away for bonfire night for the fireworks.
Oh,
So I
okay.
come down, join them.
Yeah, mate. Love that. I love that.
Right.
Nice those little family breaks, eh?
Yeah.
Right, we're getting some movement now, which is nice. Like we said, guys, we don't have to travel too far. It's Monday. We're gonna trade. We're going to manage this trade quite tight anyway because it is Monday. In fact, I might even, what would we get? 1.5. I might even take my first profit off here, to be fair. And then I'll hold and see where we get to for the rest of the day. Let's see. If we can get down here, I'll take 80-90% off. I try and take a slightly shorter target on Mondays just because I know movement often isn't there. GU's moving. DXY is moving. Let's have a look what's going on with Germany 40 then, shall we? Alright, let's start from top down, as we always do. Let's get rid of all of this. Hide all of that. Okay, cool. Right. Do you know what I haven't actually done on this? As I haven't added on our weekly. Alright, let's pop this on here. Let's start top down, and we'll go from there. We'll just leave EU to do its thing for a little bit. Delete. Right, okay, so a bit of a shit monthly candle on DXY, but that means lots of liquidity sat pretty near. So those are our monthly levels. It was, so we've had a bullish candle, we've had a buy side sweep, bearish candle. Okay, so the month is buy side sweep, bear. Weekly is bearish. So that looks like a higher time frame reversal now. We've had a sweep of liquidity to the left, sweep of liquidity to the left, and then we've had a bearish inside candle, and then we've now had a proper bearish candle. So it looks like we've got a bit of a reversal on Germany 40. Let's mark on our weekly high and low. Oh, actually, is that monthly been taken? No, it's there. Mark on our weekly high and low. So that's our weekly down here, and then we've got our weekly down here. Weekly down here. Okay, cool. Daily, what have we got near side? Okay, so daily, this and this. Daily. Daily. Okay, cool. So we did have a bullish inside bar, yes, on Friday. So hopefully this is just a pullback for more bearish price action. So overall, I am definitely bearish on Germany 40 now, depending on where we pull our range from. So we're in quite a big range as well. That's the only thing that isn't particularly great for this. So what's quite interesting is that although we've quite clearly shifted bearish, we are, from a daily perspective, still in a bullish range, aren't we? Unless you include that little high. We've definitely shifted bearish short term. That's just an absolute matter of fact. Where we're going to go from here is obviously a massive question mark. And we've now shifted bullish on the 15-minute. So we're a little bit confused. Technically, trading the current momentum, we'd have to trade it to the long. We have to trade it long. So we'd be looking for long setups effectively. But I don't like the confusion on this chart. I don't like the fact that so bearish price action, bullish price action, bearish price action, bullish price action. And daily, if I look at 2 day. So yeah, so the daily range is quite bullish still. So if we look at the daily setup, we're quite bullish, and we are in discount price in now, which is down here, of the daily range. So I feel like we have to trust the 15-minute. And therefore, we need a shift. We need a 4-hour shift, don't we? So that is our 4-hour range. We need a 4-hour shift now. I'll be holding fire on this for now, just to wait and see what we're doing on here, because we've got, even if we tighten up our range to that there to there, which we could do, we could definitely do that. So we tighten up our range to here. That might give us the shift a little bit earlier. That still indicates to us that we are currently bearish. So if we're currently bearish on the hourly time frame, we need a 15-minute bearish shift to trade it short. So it's all a little bit confused right now. I'll just be watching and waiting. We're bearish on the 4-hour, bullish on the daily, bearish on the weekly, bearish on the monthly. So yeah, we need a bit of a shift to really understand where we're going to go next. I'd quite like a bullish, if we can get the bullish ranges to come in. So if we can get like this, then a pullback, then this to give us a new 4-hour bullish range, and then we could trade off the back of this section here and trade it out like that. That would be kind of my ideal right now. So let's just wait and see what happens on Germany for you. Definitely not rushing into anything. Oh, EU, stop being a little prick. I very nearly went break even on this one, but let's hold and see what happens. Because as I've been finding out with my trading, the break-even rule seems to affect me negatively more than positively. Might catch me out of the odd loss here or there, but it definitely doesn't make me more money going break-even. How are you getting on with your strategy tester, Chris? Are you using it much? Or have you not shifted over yet?
Filling it in.
Yeah? What are your stats?
I think I've got like 6 trades in there.
Nice. What are your stats showing you so far?
QR
2R's your best, is it still?
is the most profitable. Is the second.
Are you monitoring to make?
Second loaded up.
Are you monitoring to make sure your trades are going to 4R? So are you like leaving the trade tool on there to 4R?
Sorry?
So are you? So if you look at my chart, so you obviously your trades are going to 2R. Okay, so let's say that's here, for example. Are you drawing your trade tool out to 4R and waiting until it either hits that profit or hits the loss to then log it?
Yeah, I wait.
Yeah.
To fill it out.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
so you get like the whole trade for the day, basically.
So basically, whatever your highest.
Yeah, I mean, there's no difference.
Really?
I was just going to say there's not much difference between going BE and R.
Okay.
It's like 1R.
And that's what's so good about this, is that you've now got evidence, right? You've got data to show you that your 2R strategy right now, with the data you've got, is the most profitable. Now in 2-3 months time, that might change. It might be that 3R. And do you know what you might need to do? And this is so easy to do once you have the data in there. So what you might need to do is, let's say you go through like a 3-month or a 4-month period and 2R still looks like your best and 3R and 4R don't. You can then change the numbers at the top. So you could change for example, it to like 1.5, 1.752, 2.25, 2.5, 2.75, and then 3. And then you could trade do you know what I mean? And you've got the data in there already. You've got the sequence in there already. So all you've got to do is update the numbers and the entire spreadsheet will update itself. That's what's so powerful about it. It's such an amazing tool. And
I've noticed you can do that, right? You just change the number at the top.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I built.
I think I've done that.
I built that in specifically so everyone could have that ability to. It wasn't just fixed. It was a case of, right, me as a trader, me as an individual trader, I want to see what I get if I hold to 1.6 or 1.8 or whatever that number may be. It's up to you. But the important thing is the data entry. Once the data's in there, especially when you've got 100 trades, what it also does as well, I think, and this is almost like a subconscious benefit of it, is that it forces a trader to be really accountable and to be really consistent. Like, you know that if you take a trade where you've not followed your rules, it shouldn't really be going in the strategy tester because it isn't the strategy.
Yep, I know what you mean.
Yeah, keeps you accountable.
I really like it, actually. Yeah, it's like super easy to fill in.
Yeah.
And then you've got all that data there.
Yeah. So it's being built at the moment into the actual trade journal that we've been speaking about. So
Yeah.
I want to have that. I want ideally by December when the new course is ready. I want to have the journal ready to go with it. And the journal will be it. Look, it will take maybe a little bit longer to fill out because it's going to have things like, how much money you made off a trade and your commission levels and all that sort of stuff. Basically, everything that you need to journal effectively. But it'll be worth doing. And then it will also take that data to then to like a new tab where your strategy tester is in. So that's pretty exciting. It's looking good so far.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Right. Are we getting any movement on this? It doesn't look like it wants to go, does it?
EU's pushed back down a bit.
Yeah, it has, yeah. Oh,
A
shit.
little bit.
Just doesn't look like it wants to go any lower.
What's your high time frame setup on that EU? To take range liquidity, or is it just because of the location and
Yeah, I've got
Yes,
divergence
sweep and
basically.
everything.
So it took range liquidity. But for me, I've got DXY taking the weekly
yeah.
level. So I've got my divergence. I'd have preferred it to take the liquidity, of course, as I would always do. But the fact that I've got weakness on here, I have taken out our range liquidity, and the DXY has taken out external liquidity. That gives me enough effectively. And as we can see, the
that's
trade.
divergence, right?
Yeah, divergence, exactly.
Yeah.
The trade is ultimately, it is moving. It is moving. Where we're going to go from here, obviously, a big question mark. I'm not sure. I am toying with the idea, just because it's Monday, just because of the pattern, I am toying with the idea of just going break even now and just.
Yeah.
I'd like a little bit more of a push, but again,
Straight that gap on EU, I haven't seen that for a long time, right?
I know, right?
That big.
Yeah, it's pretty massive.
And the election.
Yeah, we've got a busy week. I'm just looking forward for Tuesday to be done with. Really, get Tuesday done and out of the way, and then we should have
Who
a
do you
bit.
think's going to win?
Trump all day long.
Aye.
All day long.
Unless there's some manipulation there.
I think it's probably manipulated in. If there is any manipulation, it's going to be manipulated to get him in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's great. I've watched loads of it, me, man, and like Camilla, or however you say it, it's just, she can barely speak.
I know.
It's crazy.
And she's not relatable. The
No.
American public, they like Donald Trump because they feel like he's one of them. They just forget, the ignorance of them is that they forget that he is a billionaire. Like he's nothing like the general public in America. He spent his entire life living in a completely different world. He's probably more alienated from the normal public than Kamala herself, because he's so filthy rich. At least politicians, they're wealthy, of course, but they're not billionaires, are they?
No, I bet he really feels like it's his America, right?
Yeah.
He's helped build a lot of it.
And do you know what? You've got to have some sort of respect for him. Like in terms of like, I mean, it's
I
like
think he's great, me. I love him. I would vote for him 100%.
it's like Alan Sugar becoming prime minister, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you started off as like a small businessman. What have you done? Fox News, everything else that you've built, and then now you're the president of the country. I mean, fair fucking play. He's like, he reminds me of like what Arnold Schwarzenegger was trying to do. Like they're going with like government and stuff, but he's just done it on a whole other level. It's just, yeah. I mean, fair play to him. Fair play to him.
I like the way he talks about like Putin and like the Chinese leader as well. He's just doesn't give a shit about
No,
them.
he doesn't.
He's like, I'll go over sort them out. No problem.
And like, again, respect for him. Like he nearly got shot in the head. That was pretty mental, right?
We did get shot in the head technically, didn't it?
Yeah, technically he got
was on
shot in the
your
head.
Right.
But the shot that missed him killed someone. Like that wasn't like a.
Yeah,
I thought at
right.
first it was like, oh, it's been shot with like a pellet gun or something, or like an air rifle. But someone died there. Like as awful as that is, someone lost their life because the bullet that was meant for him hit somebody in the crowd.
Yeah. It was like a firefight with 2 kids, right?
So bad. So bad. Imagine that. Imagine if he'd been killed that day. Like, we haven't had like assassinations are the sort of things that you learn in history class growing up, right? We don't really have them these days.
It would have changed the world, I think.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah, it
America would have been a mess.
would all kicked off for sure. Right, come on, EU. Let's get a bit more of a push now, please. If we can get a nice convincing break. Where was our 2R? 2R was there, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to take some profit out early on this one. Where, I don't know yet. It really depends. Really depends.
I mean, that first low is a good target anyway.
I think so, yeah.
Especially if 2R's around there.
Yeah, I think so.
Regardless if it pushes further.
We haven't really got any clear direction at the moment, as it's Monday. Not for the week anyway, so... We've had, obviously, an expansive Asia, which seems like it's taken liquidity, because that's what the expansive Asia on DXY has done. To be fair, it makes sense to hold it. It does make sense to hold it. Everything is leaning towards this coming down to take the Asia low.
Yeah. Well, my thoughts would have been the same. You know, Dotty took the low. I would have been anticipating you push higher and take the high.
Yeah.
But obviously, we've got that reaction in the bearish structure, and then it's held.
Yeah.
And you've ended.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have maybe tried to get in just after that reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, with you.
Just because I wouldn't have been too sure, right? But using the divergence and then the Dotty as a confluence makes more sense.
You watched the module on divergence yet?
I don't think so.
No, I only uploaded it this weekend.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
You did like a live one though, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did a live. We did a webinar on it. This is just a little bit more thought out, structured. Yeah. That's it.
All right, I'll check it out.
I watched it. It's good.
Yeah. Did it kind of answer some questions, clear some things up on it?
Yeah, it did actually.
Yeah?
Because I think prior to that, I wasn't quite. I understood, sometimes when you're watching something and you kind of think that you understand it, but really, then when you go on the charts, you kind of get a little bit like, what is it? But the way you explained it as well, the fact that rather than just using like the DXY, but also using the GU as well, as an extra kind of confluence or divergence was quite good and interesting as well. So
we're lucky with EU and GU because we have got two confluences that we can use, and pretty strong confluences as well. You know, GU, for example, last week was like way out of sync, and that's because we had a load of shit going on in our politics ultimately that was causing the pound to be particularly weak. You know, so it's good having that sort of information available, and you know, understanding confluent pairs and things like that. It's that next level up of trading that just it keeps you on the right side of things. You know, the price action itself is obviously the primary driving factor behind our strategy, but something that I'm going to be working on for you guys in the new year. So I don't mind telling you, kind of big picture stuff for me is I'm going to be working with somebody who's a specialist with like fundamental analysis. And I'm going to be doing some work with him on a more consistent basis to develop my own fundamentals. So understanding the macro and the micro view of the fundamental economics, basically. So we can have that extra information in our trading. I can help you guys understand it. What I ideally want to get him to do as well, which he seems quite open to do, is to do a webinar with us once a month, where we'll have like a specialist come in and talk us through the fundamentals, what we should be looking out for, what we should be waiting for, etc. So I've got a real big I'm always working, as you probably started to learn about me, I'm always working on new, bigger and better things to see how I can benefit both my trading and therefore ultimately how I can benefit your guys' trading as well. So I'm looking to potentially go up to London in the next couple of months and meet this guy and do a bit of a workshop with him and kind of learn from him, because I understand the economic side of it, but he's like a large position trader, so he will just take he'll understand what's happening on the macro view of the markets, and he'll take his trades and he'll hold them for like 2-3 weeks, and he'll take those big swing trades, and he's so accurate with what he does. So really interesting guy, and hopefully we can get him involved on a webinar here or there, and see how open he is to it, and see A, how much he's going to charge me, of course, and B, how open he is to it. But he seems pretty open. He seems like a pretty decent dude. But yeah, anyway, coming back to the point is, I think gone are the days where you can just trade price action. I think sometimes when you're just trading price action, you are making stupid trades that aren't in line with the economic views. And look, at the end of the day, like anything else, it's just another confluence, right? It's just another confluence to either support or prevent us from trading. And all confluences are good confluences, in my opinion. Right, it's a bit of a stalemate on this one, guys. I'm going to jump off probably and get some editing done for you lovely lot. Alright, so I'll keep you updated on this trade in the chat. We'll see how it moves now. It looks like we're going to start pushing hopefully a little bit more, which should be nice. I'm not expecting this to be a reversal point. I see that 8 o'clock move as our liquidity move, and then we're just going to continue pushing. So let's see how it plays out. We've got a massive gap on both EU and DAXI that needs to be filled ultimately. We've got to come in and come close to that. So it makes sense to come all the way down here at least, the Asia low at least. So let's see how we go. I'm not going to move my stop on this one. I'm just going to let it run out and we'll see what we can get out of it. All right. Cheers for tuning in, guys. Lovely to see you all, and I'll see you in the chat. Nice one. Cheers. See you later. Bye bye.